So I just want to show you a very simple watering system. I see a lot of people on the internet with these very bougie chicken coops, and I think a lot of people think you're going to have to outlay a whole bunch of money to get started if you're doing poultry. But the fact is, a lot of those systems that you buy, waters and stuff, they're complicated, they need to be cleaned all the time, they're frustrating, some of them freeze, lots of things that you'll learn over time that they just don't make sense because it's a product and you're being sold a product. So here are some found objects that you could use to create a watering system that works pretty efficiently in a chicken coop. The only thing that's not in the picture here that you need is a wall. So you'll see that at the end of the video, a wall is an integral part of this system, but usually the wall's already there, so that's free in itself. So here we have a 3 or 4 by 4 board, roughly the same length as the trough. This came from a pallet, free. The trough was probably $3 at the dollar store, but a lot of times in the fall I can pick up stuff like this at the end of people's driveways because people are getting rid of stuff they didn't use in the summer. So if you can find one for free, that's great. I like to use blue for water because, of course, it's easy for them to identify. And this is just a regular water jug. Again, these are things that sometimes people have sitting around, or they're at the end of the driveway, or you've used water for some reason, you have one of these laying around. This can work very easily for a watering system. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this because I just dragged this out of the coop, so you can see it's I am opposed to clean it. If you think that your chicken water needs to be thoroughly clean, you are so wrong. You could give chickens a beautiful, pristine thing of water, and they will still go drink out of a mud puddle. So their gut bacteria is probably healthier than yours. So don't judge your chickens if they'll drink out of a dirty water trough. I do try to clean as much as I can. I also have a scrub brush that I keep out by the hose, so when it does get like summer, and I can see like in that area there, a bit of dirt that's just sticking too hard to the side, I'm gonna go ahead and scrub that out. I'll find my brush here. Hold on a second. Find my brush. Scrub that out. Here we go. Scrub brush. All this stuff is water soluble. You don't need a cleanser. You just need a little bit of elbow grease. And this, unlike the task list that my boss gives me, only takes a second. Whoa, and then once you've got it decently scrubbed out, and you just rinse it again. And that, folks, is good enough. We'll be able to use that. So, the only other thing I got to do here is fill up this guy, and I'm going to just show you that absolutely does not have a cap on it. So you're going to want to remove that little cap that throttles the water flow. And I usually rinse this out too and get stuff off it. So in a second, I'm going to just cut away here and fill this up because that's going to be boring. And I'll take it back to the coop and then I'll start the video again. So here we are back at the coop. Here is my wall. So I'm using a corner here because this is what works best. I throw this thing down. It's actually pretty level. I could use a brick at the back, but I don't have one handy. And this guy here is gonna hold that in place a little bit. And then I'm gonna bring my water jug. Harder to do with one hand. Hang on, I gotta switch my phone. So you can see that's just gonna sit there, and when it reaches the top, it'll just stop glugging. And that is enough water. The chickens can get in there. I'm just gonna back off. Maybe a couple will come over. See, the girls are already into the feed that I just put in. So they got that. So, but that water level, which you can see is like about halfway, that's good because then the ducks don't try to get in it. They will drink from it. They'll throw water on the back, but they can't actually get in it. And that'll last the day, maybe into tomorrow. And stays pretty clean. And it's probably the cheapest watering system you'll ever find. I store my shavings here in the coop. And that's just an extra barrier to it going anywhere. So there you go. Cheapest watering system you'll ever make. Very functional. If you were wanting to say, yes, we hear you, we hear you, yes, go away, go away. Okay. What you could do at the beginning of the week, you could have like 5 or 6 of those, 7 of those water jugs and a couple of Ziploc bags and rubber bands. You could fill them, bring them out to the coop, set them beside or in your coop, and cover the opening with the Ziploc and the rubber bands and just leave them. And then all throughout the week, you could save time by having them right there, right handy, and you could just dump them in as you need them. So there you go. Cheap watering system. Hope that helps. So here's a watering station that I put out yesterday. You can see the ducks get their bills in there and they transfer dirt into the watering system, but generally that just sinks to the bottom. Birds are drinking the clear stuff. This jug is empty, so I'm gonna go fill it. But you see, I put this in the shade. This is in the shade for almost all of the day, so that water is not going to get algae. And they drink most of it. So really, if you have standing water, that's what I don't like about the feeder and water systems that you buy. They always have algae in the summer, and you're always scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. This is a much more economical and time-saving system than buying a watering can at the store.